here with the host of NAFCA's.
And I have lovely card.
Absolutely.
Here,
hey, Claudia. Yes. Second time's a charm. This is not your first rodeo. What can we expect this year, Michael?
This time, I'm hosting with Claudia, one of the best hosts in the world, and I'm so happy. You have to just defy all of that and just look forward to a good show tonight. Using this Alex Theater is priceless.
It's my first time attending. I've heard about it, and I've always wanted to come. So to be invited as a host has been it's an honor.
Tonight we're celebrating African cinema and we're celebrating African culture. So why do you think an award of this nature is extremely important? Because there's so many awards out there, right? So many award shows. But what makes this one stand out for you?
Well, it will gear toward the people, not the masses of people, but a direct person that needs to be recognized.
This is the African Oscars, #1. So to me, this is the real Oscar. Because if I have the support of my people pushing me forward, I can do nothing but be sustained and be held to the highest accord of what I have to give in my talent. So I'm super grateful to be recognized by my own. Like that's something that's kind of bigger than just any old award.
Well, this is for the people. This is for the African American community. We are just always overlooked, and it's a blessing just to have us all come together. Look how gorgeous everyone is, and just celebrating our talent and just being one with one another.
Well, I feel like I've seen an evolution with how Africa is celebrated in the United States. I remember when I was a child and I mostly lived in a lot of mixed or white neighborhoods. It was very negative the way white folks would look at the continent of Africa. And I love how now, more Americans are less ignorant and more embracing of this place of beauty. You know what I mean? Like when you go and visit, you think, wow, it's not like what they want us to believe it is when we're younger in school. And they really do the continent and the people such a disservice. Beautiful place, riches and amazing industries and fashion and wealth and movies.
Finally, we need to be recognized in Hollywood. We need to be recognized as very active. Nobody speak about our acting in Africa. We are not very known outside Africa. We need to bring our action out. We need to represent our people. It doesn't matter what part of Africa you're from. It doesn't matter what kind of acting you do, whether it's comedian or it's acting, music, whatever that is. We should come together, support one another, and stop, separating ourselves from the industry.
Do you remember the first time what made you want to act? What was that pungent moment that made you want to become an actor?
Probably lying to get out of getting a whooping for doing something at home. Like this worked. Just made up a lie on the spot, threw some tears in there. Like this acting thing kind of where you start acting, you want to get something. So realistically, and you find you can get paid to do that, somewhere, can't remember where that hit, when it became a reality. So, but that's annoying initially. You can lie. That's what acting is. It's a hallucination.
Looking back at your career, what's the best piece of career advice you've ever received, and who did it come from?
Well, probably from my mentor, my professor, who died before I came here. So, he always said, just believe in yourself, but be kind. Be kind in what you're doing. Be kind in what you're giving.
I think the very best piece of advice I got was from Queen Latifah on the set of Just Right when I did that movie with her. And they kept doing take after take after take. And I said, do I just keep doing it the same way? I looked at her, I said, can I change it up? And she said, boo-boo, do you. And it just like wings came out of my back, and I have been flying ever since. And that was my first film.
The best advice that I received was from Miss Viola Davis. Dream strong, dream big, and dream fierce.
I don't know if it's advice. When I was a kid, I grew up in New York City. I didn't know who these people were when I was a kid. I used to see all these different actors around, and then later on I learned there was Dick Anthony Williams, Tony King, Morgan Freeman. This is my neighborhood. I couldn't believe it. Claudia McNeil. And they always took to me like a little brother, and they would just kind of school me. What I've gotten out of those ideas is that you should stay honest. Be honest to yourself. We know our limitations. We know when we're full of it. We know when we're trying to thrust forward, and it's work. It's rewarding, but it is work. So take it straight and take it honest, and that applies to anything that anybody's trying to achieve to. Just be yourself. Do the boring little laborious parts, just like the little screws that hold up a shelf. Those are the parts you have to pay attention to most. But keep going forward. We're the best thrust we have for ourselves is ourselves. Like Muhammad Ali used to say it. I've learned to believe in myself. Learning to trust myself is the greatest love of all. It's not narcissistic to say that. It's a strength.
Now, you're back here at NAFCA. This is your second time around. Tonight, are you presenting?
I will not be presenting, but I will be the singer for the memoir and the memorial for all the people that have passed away and our actresses.
And what song are you singing?
I will be singing Nella Fantasia, and it's an Italian aria.
And who are you presenting to tonight?
Tonight, the kids.
Oh, fantastic. Are you nervous? Do you get nervous still?
No.
How come you don't get nervous? We get nervous as grown-ups when we have to present awards, but you don't.
I mean, I'm used to it.
You've been around the industry for a very long time. We've seen your face around town. And I want to ask you, looking back, if you had to do things differently, what would you do? If you had to do it all over again, what would you change and do differently?
I would have taken it more seriously when I was younger. Anything that you do, like entertainment or sports, anything that you do in that area, you have to be hardcore. You have to be driven to make it.
And then what inspired you to actually start the NAFCAs back in 2011? What was that inspiration?
Loving the film industry, we believe through NAFCA we can really bring Africa closer to the U.S. and have the two industries to work together. We've really been blessed to be here 6 years later. When we started in 2011, we thought it was just going to be 1 year, 2 year thing. 6 years later, we're here. And thanks to Tina, Amber, and I can go on and on and on. Amazing crew of about 200 people. This is really, really, really a joint effort. And I'm really blessed to have a great team. And for having you here too.